On this week's episode of Three Dad Bods. Now, at this wedding, too, another cool thing, and this is another idea that's in this article, they had a do-it-yourself photo booth. So this photo booth was set up, and then they had these little...
Sarcastic, witty, and not afraid to mix it up. Pop open a cold one, and welcome to Three Dad Bods.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Three Dad Bods with Brent, Carl, and Sean. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
We got a good start.
It's been a wild morning so far.
Touch it. Yeah,
touch what?
Please.
What
are you touching?
What you guys don't? Yeah, what they don't hear behind the camera. That's what's funny. All right.
Good day of college football yesterday. We won't harp into it too much. That Oregon-Washington game was phenomenal. One of the best football games I've seen in a long time, back and forth. I think Oregon and Washington are still the two best teams in the country. I really do. Utes, I couldn't even tell you what they did. It looks like they ran the ball the whole entire game. Cougars, I don't know what they happened. I just saw that
they
score.
Suck.
Right?
They just suck.
Look like they had a rough go in Texas.
No, they just need to redo everything. That team is horrible.
I will say, look,
they're horrible.
I don't give many compliments. I don't give many compliments on the Cougars. But how many times this year have the Cougars the kittens been completely out of a game, and then they come back and win? They've done that multiple times this year. You can't be too disappointed with them.
They're 120th in the NCAA in offense. Tell me how good they are.
Where they at on defense?
But
I'll bet Utah's like 130.
Well, they're a little better in defense. That's true. But as far as being a big, we're gonna win maybe one more game. That's it, if we're lucky. The way we're playing right now, it's gonna be nasty. Well, they play Texas Tech at home, and Texas Tech kind of sucks. So there's a chance. But after that, they're gonna get boat raced by Texas. They're gonna get boat raced by Oklahoma. Iowa State's gonna beat the hell out of them. I don't see very many wins for BYU the rest of the year. It was as a Cougar fan, they suck. I'd rather go to a movie than watch that bullshit. But anyway, those are my Cougars.
That Vols game, it was so frustrating to watch. At halftime, I got up and left and drove Uber so I could listen to it on the radio because I was so frustrated. And Tennessee came back and they won, and I pulled over into a parking lot and watched the last 2 minutes of the game in the parking lot. But great fit. Their defense looks strong.
You drive Uber when you get frustrated in life?
Oh, I do.
We should do an episode just on that.
It calms me down. It really does. And so I want to talk to you guys about, we've got, the three of us have daughters. And I don't care what anybody says, but a father and daughter relationship is a different relationship than a father and son relationship. My daughters are don't touch my daughters. Don't mess with my daughters. I will put you in a grave. My son, mess with my son, he'll probably kick your ass. So, as fathers, as men, we're always more protective of our daughters. And with that, we're kind of getting to that age. Some of us probably closer than others, but when our daughters get married. And so this is something that they don't give you in that parenting 101 handbook of how to prepare for a wedding, to get ready for that wedding, to lead up to it. I'm just waiting for that call one day, hey, he proposed to me. How about Vegas? You want to fly there, go into a walk-in chapel, walk out, and make it nice, simple, and easy? I can remember our wedding and the preparation that was involved with that. And look, let's be honest, guys. The wedding is for the ladies.
Oh
It
yeah.
honestly is. I don't care about colors. I don't care about cake. I don't care about the tuxes. I would rather just have a get together at the house, say I do, and then just have a big party afterwards. So,
I think one thing about that night is, as a male at that early tender age of 24, you're right, Brent. I was not thinking about color schemes and flowers. And I mean, on an LDS wedding, there's a little more focus on going to a temple and making some covenants forever and ever and ever, which, or we'll have that could be a whole nother topic. But I was more focused on her, what she looked like, and wow, I was like, wow, I can't wait until it's like Christmas morning. I'm going to unwrap that package later tonight. The whole day was kind of a blur. Hated the pictures, couldn't stand it. And then,
this hurts from smiling.
And then, of course, you get a lot of gifts, and you're like, not that you really care about those gifts because you probably won't use them. Your wife will. And then you get to the reception, which I hear a lot of LDS guys will like hook up with their wife in between. I was stupid. I should have done that, but she had an autoimmune disease, and so she needed some sleep. And I figured I didn't want to spoil the night, so I just went to the honeymoon suite and made sure it was ready to go. That was my task that day. And then the night, the reception, dude, I didn't care. I mean, that was the worst torture session I've ever gone through. And then my aunt, funny story, she says, you need to open my gift right now. And this is right before we got out of there. I said, why? She
Before
says,
the wedding?
She was right in front of my wife. And I said, well, what is it?
Before the
She
wedding?
said, open it up.
Before the wedding?
This isn't the reception. This is at the reception, right at the end of the reception. And I said, okay. So I open it up, and there's a screwdriver with a one of those machine screwdrivers. And then she starts laughing at me, and I'm like, and I said, all right, that's it. We're going. So my aunt knew what was going on in my head. It worked just fine. Yeah, it was a great night. Yeah, it was worth it. So it was a theme hotel. It was a covered wagon. So we
It's up by the Salt City Jail, right?
Anniversary Inn, my friend.
Yeah.
That was yeah. So
We stayed in the canyon room there once.
Yeah, we did the Treasure Island room one time too. That was kind of fun. So the Peter Pan room, you're up in the top.
This was awesome, man.
I loved it
too. That one in Ogden also.
We went to the Salt City Jail one, so we could eat there as well. That was kind of cool.
Best. Well, that place is awesome.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Jail cells and stuff, man.
So
did you guys have a bachelor party?
I didn't. Did you, Brent?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I don't think I was good enough friends be invited with you at that time.
I was living
in
Minnesota.
Sean, to Brent's?
I didn't get invited. I was living in Minnesota. But it would have been nice if you.
Yeah, where'd you guys go?
I know you're in Minnesota, Sean, but I'd still like for you to show up.
Okay, Brent, you got to tell us where you were. Oh, I think you went to Vegas, didn't you?
No, we went to Wendover. Strip club in Wendover.
You went to Bendover?
That's how sleazy it was.
Oh, yeah. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Tell the audience what Wendover's like, because most people...
There are, but they have to wear pasties, and there's a bar that's in between you. They can't cross that bar. But in Wendover, it's not like that. I mean, I had a great bachelor party. It was guys took me out and went up on stage and sat on a chair, and they danced all around me. And
okay, let me ask you a question then, guys. If you knew that your significant other had gone to a what are they called? Thunder Down Under, and got really close and personal in her bachelorette party with one of the dancers.
I wouldn't care at all.
Sean?
I'd laugh.
Sean's quiet. He won't say anything.
I'd laugh.
You would just laugh.
I mean,
I don't know. I think these days I'd just laugh. I think when I was 24 and a little more self-righteous, I probably would have had a little issue with it, but that's just me. All right,
Anyway,
well, let's go back to the wedding. What are you talking? Okay, talk to you about your daughter. Keep you focused.
So I looked up a couple things. 28 plus ways to save money on your wedding. I'm not going to go over all 28, but here's a couple ideas. This is confettidaydreams.com is where I'm looking at this at.
Okay.
Instead of using your credit card, which I think we'll probably all dig deep into, they suggest using a wedding debit card that is linked to a loyalty program. So you can get cash back on wedding costs, so you can get points and stuff like that towards flights. This is an interesting one, and I don't know. Sean, your daughter's not married yet, right? You haven't prepared any weddings, right?
No. Nope, thank goodness I haven't had to deal with that. But my wife and I have talked about it, and it scares the crap out of me.
So the reason why I asked, Sean, is does anybody still get a mailed wedding invitation? Like, I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
Oh, yeah, I do. Occasionally.
Yeah. Okay, so they say save money on printing and postage by emailing or texting your save the dates. So I was just kind of curious if people still mail those out.
I've always wondered why people don't use social media a little more, or emails, or something that is a little more modern. I mean, you spend a lot of
Christmas
money.
Cards.
Because I always misplace the invitation within 10 minutes. I mean, where's that invitation at? It's gone. It's in the trash pile somewhere. Yeah. Well, some people post them on their fridge, but that's kind of lame to me. But I'm a dude. Don't send me an invitation. I'll lose it.
Buy a sample or pre-loved designer dress online. This is my
pre-loved
problem with weddings. No, what was it? Pre-loved designer dress, I guess. I don't
First
know
of all, the fact that you're reading an article like this makes me wonder if your man card should be taken away from you, Brent.
Hey, look, I see stuff that says
you don't have anything
money,
to do with the dress, bro. Other than just pulling the credit card out and giving it to your wife.
I do have a thing with it. So, this is my whole thing about it. Look,
just
guys, we rent a tux, but guys rent a tux and then return it.
About that.
No, I was just saying, like, we guys rent a tux and then we return it. We're not holding on to this tux and give it to our son when he gets married. And like, why do women have to own a dress that they will wear for 3 hours of their life, and that's it? That is completely it.
Well, and they're expensive.
I don't know though. It depends on who you marry, though. I guess because not all women are that way. I know my ex rented hers. Maybe that's I should have.
She did?
Nervous. Yeah, I was probably.
That's the first I've heard of that. That's the very first time I've heard that.
Of a woman renting a wedding dress. Never.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she would be extremely
I doubt
unusual.
she did.
Do they even do that? Is there anybody that rents out bridal dresses?
And maybe that should be an idea that we do.
That's a good
maybe
business
the 3
idea.
Dad Bods should have 3 Dad Bod wedding business. Yeah. Let's do it. I think that's a great idea for us to have 3 Dad Bods wedding dress rentals. I think wedding dress rentals. I think we put it together. Every guy would be like, God, that's a brilliant idea. Every woman, I don't know if we could get them to buy into it, but it just makes sense.
3, 2, 1 wedding dresses, huh? That would be. We could do tuxes too. That's where you'd actually make money, because I doubt any woman would come into our shop for the dress.
Not 3, 2, 1 wedding dress. I'm doing the countdown for our recording, fool. 3 Dad Bods. 3 Dad Bods wedding dress.
Oh, 3 Dad Bods. Gotcha. All right. 3 Dad Bods. 3, 2, 1. You're married.
3, 2, 1. Take it off.
Get married. Get married during the week instead of on a Saturday. Now, I guess maybe that's for rates, but to me that sounds like a terrible idea if you got family that comes from out of town. So I'm gonna bypass that idea there. I think where a lot of the cost comes from is the reception itself, and then like the dinner and
Oh,
the
absolutely.
food and all that stuff. So one thing my niece had, they had a food truck come up. Okay, in this food truck, you had three menu items that you could pick
I
from, and it
like
was
that.
like a grilled cheese food truck that had soups and stuff. It was awesome. It to me, it was the best idea that I've seen for a wedding, and it's low budget. A food truck coming in is going to save you a lot of cost, and it's fresh food right there.
I like that idea.
One
One
food
food
truck.
truck.
Yeah,
Okay. What do
yeah.
they do for alcohol then? Because we're not all Mormon weddings here. So
So, well, we don't have any Mormon weddings in Tennessee.
I know. Well, you could be in one of those counties. You know what I'm saying? A dry
Dry
But
county,
County.
but yeah.
most wedding venues have their own alcohol guidelines, and most of them will make you purchase the alcohol from the venue itself.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I've typically seen. That's how our venue was. We got married up in Memory Grove. We did a devil's seance at Emo's grave right beforehand, and then we had our wedding right afterwards.
I
And
Nice.
forgot about that. I forgot about Emo's grave. I hadn't, I haven't heard that since probably, I don't know. My
There's a
gosh.
lot of weird stuff in Utah, isn't there?
Gravity Hill,
Gravity
you
Hill
know,
was fun. I
Yeah, that
yeah.
was fun.
You're gonna have to explain Emo's grave to people, maybe. I don't. That's
So I mean, it's just a grave. It's a mausoleum, is what it is. It's a mausoleum, and the as a kid, the thing is you go there and you say emo, 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 or something like that, and then you see emo from inside the mausoleum. It's
is
see it
that.
late at night, stuff
That
like
sounds
that.
like
Well,
Beetlejuice.
I just am surprised you had it there because that's where all the satanic worshipers hang out. That you would
Why
have.
does that surprise you?
Oh my goodness.
No, it
Okay.
was at the memorial house that's there,
Uh,
and so it's an old. I mean, it's built in the 1800s, a beautiful yellow
uh,
building, and it's
it's
built
a
for
pretty area,
receptions. And
actually,
it
right?
is, it
So,
is. Oh yeah, incredible
do you
area.
know? Do you know? And this is another side trivia note that no one probably cares about. But when Utah had its only tornado in downtown Salt Lake, that some of the trees from Temple Square ended up in that grove. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because they got stuck up in the tornado and then deposited.
Do you guys remember what the only fatality was in that tornado?
I don't remember actually on that.
It was a cow.
Oh, was it really a cow down to
Cow
when
was
it hit the
lifted.
Delta Center?
Cow was lifted up and tossed like several hundred yards away. That was the only fatality of the tornado.
That was
One
weird. I
dead
was
cow.
downtown when that hit, so
I was
I was
too.
at
It was in the
Trolley
International
Square.
Center.
Yeah, that
Oh, you
weird.
were in it. You were in it.
I was close. I wasn't
Yeah.
quite in it, but yeah, I was close enough that I could have walked and been in it. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
quite the day. It was a nasty, nasty day weather-wise. But anyway, back
Now,
to weddings.
Now, at this wedding too,
Uh-huh.
another cool thing, and this is another idea that's in this article. They had a do-it-yourself photo booth. So this photo booth was
Oh,
set up,
that's
and
kind
then
of
they
cool. I
had
didn't.
these little signs that you would hold up. Some of them were like a little mustache, some of them were like congrats and stuff like that. And then you go into the photo booth, take the picture, and this is all used for their memory book of the wedding. I thought
I'm
that's
kind of
pretty
liking
cool
this
idea.
because this isn't. I mean, dude, I'll be honest. I get a wedding invitation, and I'm like, oh. I mean, because the receptions are so boring. You go, you stand in a line for about, what, 10 minutes. You shake someone's hand. This is usually an LDS gym. And then you sit down at a table. You get in a Claire. Maybe it's a little more fancy than that. And then you talk to a bunch of people you kind of remember, and then you leave. And that's all they are in Utah, at least. And I don't know, Arizona's probably
And I
similar.
think that's a Utah thing, the wedding line. I really do.
That
Because
doesn't
Is it?
you
happen
don't think
out.
so, Sean? Because the
What's
ones
that?
I've been to around here, they don't have a line. You go dancing, and that's how you talk to the you dance with the bride and stuff like that. And
That sounds a lot
there's
more
no
fun.
line or anything like
That's
that.
that's kind of what we did at our wedding.
You did.
We
I
didn't
remember
do a
that.
reception with a line, and we just walked around and visited with people and danced and
Hmm.
stuff. So, but the whole I don't. Did you come to my Carl? I don't.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you
I
did.
went
You
to
were a
Brent's.
jerk. You were a jerk.
Well, you were in.
Remember,
Where were you at though,
just
Sean?
downtown, or you're on the east side, weren't you?
Yeah, it was over on the east side of town.
Yeah.
No,
Brent came.
I didn't come, did I?
I can
No,
I
remember it's
told
like a
you I
little
don't like
garden
them.
area that was in there and stuff. It was a really nice area that you guys had.
Well, at that time in my life, I was getting invitations to go to a wedding like every few weeks, and it was just like, are you kidding me? I mean,
I
but not Sean. I would have maybe. Did I even know about it? Did you invite me?
of course I invited you.
Yeah, right.
Probably invited your parents and not you.
Well, they probably didn't tell me that one might have been because I
Yeah.
would have gone to yours. I
And
went
we
to
all know
Brent's.
how
I would have gone
we
to
all know
yours.
I
how close Sean and Kent are. I mean,
I
he just talks to him freely on the phone and
I
then doesn't
like.
even hand me the phone. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's the deal. I liked you more than Brent at that time, so I would have probably for sure come to yours, Sean, just to make you feel better.
I think you
I
didn't
didn't
come
like
because
Brent. He was a
because you
Laker
didn't
fan.
want to buy me a present. I was okay not getting a present, Carl.
That
It's
was
fine.
probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That. You know what? That might have been the real reason. I just didn't have the money because you were on the east side, and it's kind of hard to hang out with you guys up there in the Olympus Cove area.
You're a
So,
jerk.
You married a rich girl. What's that?
You're a jerk.
Anyway,
one
no, that's
idea
a great
that I
idea,
like-
though. I've never even thought of that, Brent. It should be a fun celebration.
it is. And
Yeah.
and do you remember I've been to some weddings where they would back when we had cameras. Nobody has
Yeah.
a camera anymore. But they would hand the camera around, and then you would
Oh yeah.
video
Little message.
device or yeah. Usually I would moon the camera or something like that. But and then it would go on to the next person. And I always thought that was kind of a cool idea too. And maybe get your guests to put together a video collage that they email to you, then could be put together as a video presentation. Because as a couple, let's be honest, you don't know what the hell's going on that day.
No.
I was hungover as all hell for one, and it's just such a blur. It's like I was so nervous. I remember my dad picking me up. I woke up. My dad comes and picks me up. Loved the man to death because he could always sense things. I'm a ball of nerves, and I remember he put my hand or his hand on my shoulder, and he was like, "It'll be okay, Brent. Just breathe. Just breathe. You won't remember a thing." And he was
Yeah, he's right. He's right. He's right. Well, the one thing I do remember, my dad, basically he said, you know what? If you really don't want to do this today, he says, and I'm not saying I feel like you were giving me any signs that you didn't want to get married today, but if you wanted to say, we're done, we don't want to, I don't want to do this, or I have second thoughts, he says, you just go ahead and tell me, and it'll be off. I'll love you just the same. It doesn't matter how much it cost us. The reality is it's better to make the right decision than the wrong decision. And I thought that was cool, even though I was like, what are you, crazy, Dad? At that time, I was like, you're a nut. Of course I'm going to go through it. But because I was thinking, I get sex tonight. But that's the LDS culture.
that.
Yeah,
So
because if
nervous.
you're normal culture, you wouldn't be thinking that. But anyway, no.
My dad did the same thing. He goes,
Yeah.
as we're driving, he goes, Brent, we can keep driving.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a dumb question now in retrospect to ask someone because they have no experience and they have no idea how hard marriage really is. I mean, I'm going to show you a snapshot and show you a fast forward of the next 30 years and then ask that question. So, do you want to do it? And it'd be like, well, yeah, But man, I didn't realize what that yes is going to mean. And I think maybe it's a good thing when you're young you don't know, because if you did, you'd never get married. And which is kind of sad because it just makes us a better person, that 30-year time period.
Thing though, if I saw kids in that image of my kids, I would go through it 100 times.
Oh, of course. 100 times you do it 100 times. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
So,
well, okay, so you learned how to keep it cheap. I like that, Brent. I like that a lot.
And I don't think it's keep it cheap. That sounds terrible. I think it's keep it within your budget.
Or keep it fun.
Yeah, keep it fun. So that's all.
Well, I imagine when I come to one of your kids' weddings, Brent, I imagine I am going to be. My expectation is going to be 100% fun. Just to warn you ahead of time. So it better not be a drag.
I will tell you, I will be back over in the corner, drunk. That's going to be. So you tell me how it goes, okay?
All right. You probably won't remember anyway.
Actually,
just like Bobby, your kid, he probably won't know what's going on either.
Look, I will be flat out honest, because like before kids, I was, and then I had daughters, and I'm like, so I will be bawling my eyes out. I will 100% have a face full of tears with my daughters.
And Sean, I promise you, any of your kids, when the wedding reception occurs, I will be there just to show you I care about you.
I don't want you to be.
What? No, it's not for you. It's
like
for
his
them
wedding.
And Rachel.
There.
I don't really give a shit about you, but I'm going to be there for your kids or for Rachel. So don't make yourself feel like superior because you're like, no, I don't want you there. That's not for you.
My kids and Rachel, they don't even like you, so I don't know why.
Oh, they like me. I know that. They didn't like you. That's okay.
I'm really sorry, Rachel and kids. Carl said he can't be there. Oh, we don't care. We don't like him anyway.
That's how it'll go. What? He's actually, Dad. He's actually funny.
He said he's got a date.
Is Brent coming? No, Carl and Brent are not allowed to come to this wedding.
No, Brent can come.
Oh, okay.
Tracy is definitely invited.
Tracy's invited.
She'll
Tracy's
definitely
always
take you
invited.
up on that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take you up on that.
Thanks for listening to Three Dad Bods, and make sure to catch their past episodes on Spotify, Apple, and Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure and leave a comment to help stroke their fragile egos. Thanks for listening to Three Dad Bods, and make sure to catch their past episodes on Spotify, Apple, and Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure and leave a comment to help stroke their fragile egos.